Hi, Sami. You're head of nomination at El Shearer.
Yeah.
And we've had great pleasure in working with you for the last few years in your stallions. But I must admit, I've been breeding in the sort of the UK market for a long time, and I feel that you're really sort of trying to promote the British breed and really get that side of it going. Is that right with your stallions?
Yeah, most definitely. We've got a range of stallions at El Shearer, and Tullis himself actually has done all the freezing of them, and he's seen them firsthand. You've had them for a month at your yard, haven't you, for EU export purposes. And so you know what they're like firsthand. But I think we really want to be the creme de la creme. We want to be the Coolmore of show jumping. And we want to provide British breeders with, stallions that are no foal, no fee via yourselves, because you're a professional entity. And we want to market our stallions through Stallion AI, and also doing so via Bolesworth in sponsoring these events.
Yeah, and I've seen it ourselves over the years. It always used to be, let's buy the semen from abroad. It always used to be stupid. There's a big shift now.
Yeah.
People want to buy British. They want to go for the UK stallions.
Yeah.
So me personally, I think your timing is absolutely spot on. You're going to have the backing of the British breeders,
Hopefully.
which is fantastic. And I think what you're setting up, it really is great to be sort of putting a footmark for the UK stallions. And we've never seen, I think, breeding ever better than it's great that you're sort of taking this challenge on, you could say.
Definitely. It's a challenging time for everyone in breeding with Brexit, obviously, and it's risky with semen. You've dealt with sending semen, it hasn't got there, and receiving hasn't come in. So it's now a really prime opportunity for people in England to say, well, what do we have in England? Our stallions have jumped Grand Prix. Then we've got our young stallion, Chaco Bay, who's a silver medalist at Lanarken, and we have real quality stallions to give, and I think we really pride ourselves on being able to give you top quality bred, really well bred stallions.
And a few stats that you may or may not know, to throw this in the ring.
Please.
We all think all this stuff's coming from Europe, but do you realise we export double the amount that's actually imported?
No way.
So the UK British stallions, I think sometimes we can be a bit hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
Actually, how good they are. So we actually export. The 6,000 consignments came in, but 11,000 consignments went out. So that really tells you that British breeding.
Yeah.
People love our stallions over here, and I think you're really poised with your stallions. They're UK. Froze it for European use, which is great. Yes, we've got our issues at the moment with the exports, I have to admit. But it's great. People actually recognise, not just in Europe, all over the world, that we have some of the best stallions. It's not just Germany, Holland,
exactly.
Netherlands,
exactly.
the UK now. God, it's fantastic. We've got an exportable commodity.
Yeah.
So yes, you are obviously doing the UK, but those genetics that you have there are quite fantastic. So sought after, aren't they?
Some of the best bloodlines. I mean, let's talk about Tsunami de Hus, for example, a Self-Francais stallion that's out of the full sister to Arco. I mean, if you were an Arco lover, he's here on your doorstep to use, isn't he? He puts that stamp on them like Arco would. He's by l'Arc de Triomphe. He's just, he's got Argentinus in him. What's not to love? He's a blood type stallion. He's won 3-star World Cup qualifiers. And then if we talk about our youngest stallion, who's best British bred 4-year-old at Bolesworth last year, he is by Balladarue out of a 160 winning jumping mare at 4-star, 5-star level. So, our calibre is very high, and that's through the vision of the founder of El Shearer Farms. And we really aim to only provide the best. And because you freeze the best and you do all the semen collection, the quality of their semen. So talking statistics, Tullis, what would you say, our motility rates are like?
Brilliant, and there's obviously it varies from stallion to stallion. And one thing before we go on to that is your stallions. We go through up and down the barn, we can take 20 odd stallions up there. They are the most well-mannered stallions. If anybody watched one of the webinars that we did, they were just standing there, virtually like girls.
They're lovely.
And that means a lot, and that helps the semen quality, believe it or not. Okay. If they're stressed out, highly strung, that can affect it. But all yours come in and absolutely totally chilled out. So the semen, that has a bearing on the semen quality. So the semen quality for these stallions is really second to none. And they're all over sort of 65% in the fresh, and they're all over sort of 35-40% with the frozen.
Yeah.
And so the beauty about them, they absolutely froze incredibly well. There's no reason why we shouldn't get really good pregnancy results.
This is it.
And for you, it must offer, because obviously these are competing stallions, so you've got that backup, obviously, with the frozen, and that's so you can carry on a breeding program as well as a competition schedule.
Definitely, and currently our stallions are out in Italy competing and getting results. Tsunami was clear the other day in a Grand Prix, and Kratos is another young special stallion by Concord out of a staccato mare, really, really nice black type bloodlines, going clear in his age classes. So. Yeah, I think, like you said, overall, good, well-frozen semen, good quality. We've got great good strike rates in pregnancies, which is very important.
And are they going back to the Middle East again and doing a bit out there, or where's their next sort of big schedule? Where are they?
The plan is actually to be here in August for the Young Horse Championships, the Al-Shira Bolesworth Young Horse Championships. We're excited to showcase a lot of our progeny, and there will be a couple of the stallions here, so it's a good chance as well for breeders to come here just to view them. If you want to watch them in the warm-up, see their characteristics, you get to know stallions more when you actually put a bit of time into seeing them on the ground.
And on some of the young stock, if you've seen some of the young stock coming through, what's sort of the age of them now?
Well, Tsunami's got 6-7-year-olds on the ground doing, international classes and doing really well. Chaco Bay, it was his first year in breeding last year, so we've got beautiful foals on the ground throughout Holland, Belgium, England. I have to say they are very Chaco Bay. You can see the Chaco blue bloodlines coming through, really beautiful types. Tsunami, like I said, really puts a stamp on them. Pegasus, this is his first year in breeding. He's a 5-year-old. And Kratos, it's his first year in breeding this year as well. So, there are breeders out there that have got to take a chance now on younger stallions, not just the, typical, let's go to your usual Diamant de Semele for pleasure. Try and take a chance on the young ones, because you'll only be kicking yourself in 4 years' time when they're doing really well.
It is right, and I always think it's always that sort of, shall we gamble, shan't we? Not, the ones that have obviously got lots of young stock on the ground, you can see them. But those young ones, I always think they're very exciting, because you go early with them. The stud fees are incredibly reasonable that you set them at, so people can have a go at them. And they've got that potential to have those absolutely superstars right at the beginning, not be the 100th down the line.
Definitely.
And I think for a breeder that wants to put the toe in the water,
it's exciting.
Really exciting.
Really exciting. And I think at no foal, no fee, you just can't go wrong. It's just, we've put it there for everyone to use and to try and experiment.
Brought that up, that no foal, no fee, because people might not realise that the no foal, no fee, it really does say what it's on the tin. And there's not many stallion people that offer that.
Yeah.
So literally, you're putting your heart where your mouth is. If your mare's not in foal, you don't have to pay.
You don't have to pay. So we want it to be, it is an expensive business, we all know, and it's not so easy doing embryo transfers, and it is a difficult process. It's science, and we're handling semen and eggs, and we want everyone to have a good chance at it.
And you again might not have realised this, but I've sit on a lot of boards that, around the world talking about stud fees and how registrations, and everyone's trying to push this no foal, no fee behind the scenes, because they always think the mare owner, they pay their £1,000 or whatever, and if they have an empty mare, they've still paid that, and it leaves a bit of a bitter taste. And some societies do this no foal, no fee, or some breeds do, but not many. And it's great, again, you're at the forefront of this, offering that service, so they literally do not have to pay a penny or until their mare's in foal. That no foal, no fee, they get the money back, or unless their mare's in foal. So it's great that you're launching that as well to the mare owners to help them. So everybody wants a foal on the ground, don't
Definitely, and we want foals on the ground too.
Yeah. So I suppose it's a bit of a hard question. Who's your favourite? Is the one that really stands out to you, that you sort of say, this is the one that I really like?
I think we all
on the spot a bit.
We all love Chaco Bay. We all love him. He got us a medal. He prior to getting the medal, he had done nothing. He's just a superstar, and then he came to Bolesworth last year. William Funnell rode him, and he won. He won the 6-year-olds, and he is just a very talented, special horse. But they're all unique and special in their own ways, and they're all worth trying and trying on your mares.
And you've obviously been part of Bolesworth for a few years. I mean, I feel like I've been coming here for a million years to be going on. But the part of the Bolesworth experience, how do you find that sort of fits in with the stallions and all that side of it in the breeding?
I think Bolesworth and Al-Shira Farms is synonymous in doing things in a prestige and exclusive way, like doing it at the very, very best. We don't settle for doing anything less than fantastic, you know what I mean? So in terms of branding, marketing, executing, organisation, I think that's where Bolesworth and now Shearer really have a great connection.
Yeah, so that really shines through right the way through the show jumping. You're trying to do your best for British breeding, and obviously Nina's trying to do the best for obviously the show jumping. And I did a bit of obviously dressage a few years ago in here, and they're always trying to make it the best. So I think that connection being the top of your game on that side. So I must admit, we as Stallion AI, we really look forward to the relationship going forward, and with great excitement seeing those little foals running around the fields in years to come. And I feel like it's our little creations that we created, and it's so exciting for us to see what they come into. And quite often when we fold them down and then we suddenly see them back here in years to come, there's no better reward.
No, it's a real pleasure and a joy to see what you've created.
No,
for sure.
Really looking forward to carrying on. I'm so excited about the future.
No, me too.
I think it's great for British breeding.
Definitely.
What you're doing, putting it firmly on the map.
Definitely. Thank you, Tullis.